Chattanooga, Tennessee is one of the hottest places to move to in 2025, drawing everyone from young professionals, families, and retirees. With its stunning nature, affordable living, and vibrant community, the scenic city is calling your name. Today, in this video, we're breaking down the top 10 reasons why people are flocking to Chattanooga and why it may be a good fit for you too. Let's dive in. Number one, we were just named North America's first national park city. What exactly does that mean? It means our entire city is committed to nature, green spaces, and really making the outdoors a daily part of life. We've got over 35 miles of greenway, over 4,800 acres of parkland, and more than 70 parks scattered around the city. Some of my favorites include Coolidge Park, which is right in the downtown area in North Shore, right along the river. It's a great place to hang out next to the river, looking at the beautiful blue bridge. You'll see a ton of people out there just sunbathing, playing soccer, playing football, or just people walking along the Riverwalk. So you have Greenway Farms, you have the sculpture fields, you have Warner Park, you have the Riverwalk, which is great. It's a great spot to go and get some exercise. You have Harrison Bay State Park, which is actually where I'm located right now, where you can go and fish, you can go and hike, go boating. If you're into, the lake life, this is the place to be, right on Chickamauga Lake. There is just so much access to parks and the outdoors. And it's not like Atlanta where people say, oh yeah, you have all these parks integrated within the city, but you have to drive 40 minutes in order to get to any of those parks. Chattanooga is a little bit different in that it is way more convenient to get to your local park, your local hike, your local waterfall. Everything is within 15 minutes away, depending on where exactly you live. For example, if you're living in Ottawa, some of your parks include the Sabbath Nature Trails near Southern Adventist University, great for hiking. Same thing with Enterprise South Nature Park, which has miles and miles of hiking trails and mountain biking trails. Or you can go the paved route where you can, stroll your kid in the stroller, and it's a beautiful spot. Or you can go up north to Harrison Bay State Park where you have access to the lake. Same thing with the west side if you're living in Red Bank, Hickson, or even the downtown area. Wherever you are, you're gonna be within 15 minutes of something. So it's super nice in that regard. So point number two, and this kind of piggybacks on the first point, is that nature and the outdoor life is really just built into the lifestyle and into the city here. Let's just take right here, right now for an example. I currently live in East Brainerd, and East Brainerd is a suburb here in Chattanooga. It's actually where one of the main malls is. It's Hamilton Place Mall, and it's east of downtown, okay? What we did here is I decided, hey, I'm gonna film a video today. Hey, wife and baby, you wanna come along and just hang out? So we drove 20 minutes to Harrison Bay State Park. Right now, my wife is on a walk with our new son, who was just born last week, which is super cool. And I'm here filming this video, and we didn't really have to do any planning because everything is just so nearby. So while I'm technically working right now, my wife and my son are outside enjoying the outdoors. If you want to go on a hike and you want to see beautiful views, you want to hike along a creek and see a waterfall, check out Lookout Mountain, go to Signal Mountain, go to Cloudland Canyon down south. Or if you're into the water, you want to go kayaking or paddleboarding, all you got to do is launch right in the downtown area, right in the river, and you can go ahead and kayak or paddleboard under the bridge. Whether you want to hike locally, even at like Stringer's Ridge out in North Chattanooga, or going up a Signal or Lookout Mountain, it's still super close by. Rock climbers love Sunset Rock, and it's also a great place just to go on a little short hike and see an amazing view. That's a local hot spot, and it's a really iconic place here in Chattanooga. If you do come and visit, go and check out Sunset Rock. It's a nice little hike, and you have a beautiful view of the sunset and the valley. If you want to hike and see beautiful views, hike along a creek, see a waterfall, all of that is right here. Mountain bikers, I do not want to leave you out, but you got Stringer's Ridge, like I mentioned, in North Chattanooga. You have Enterprise South Nature Park, which is more east. And you also have Raccoon Mountain, which is some of the best mountain biking here in East Tennessee. It's absolutely amazing. Point number three of why so many people are moving to Chattanooga is because it's very retirement friendly without feeling very retirement-y, if that makes any sense. If you're thinking about retiring, but you don't want a beige concrete box like in Florida, then Chattanooga is going to be the place for you. And by the way, I'm allowed to say that because I lived in Florida for for so long. You have nearly maintenance-free communities like Greenbrier out in Collegedale. You have one of the biggest and best master plan communities in all of Tennessee, which is Black Creek. Absolutely stunning, where you have smaller lots, beautiful homes, and a ton of amenities. You have a state-of-the-art golf course. You've got pickleball courts, tennis courts, a restaurant, so many amenities in that community. And you've got places like the Farmstead, which still has a ton of amenities, not super amenity heavy, but you got beautiful, almost coastal style homes where they do sit on smaller lots where you don't have a huge yard and there's very little maintenance, while still having a very, very community-like feel. You have a very similar community like that in East Brainerd, and then you also have Cambridge Square in Ottawa, which is a beautiful, luxurious community with a pool right next to the #1 golf course in all of Tennessee, the Honors Course. And all of these places are very close to shopping, restaurants, and some of the top medical facilities in town. That's something about Chattanooga is, we talk about being super nature forward and being very convenient to these different parks and such, but it's also to amenities as well. Anywhere you're living in Chattanooga, you're gonna be within 15 minutes of an amenity center. We talk about traffic a little bit. One of the last videos I posted was something like, Chattanooga is becoming impossible to live, and one of the downsides is traffic. I just got off the phone with one of my clients who moved here from Atlanta. She told me that the traffic here is a joke compared to other major cities like Atlanta, like Nashville, like New York, LA, those type of places. So although you'll see a lot of people commenting in the comments, oh, the traffic here is terrible, there's so many people moving here, it's all baloney. And you'll also never see those people in real life, in person either, which we'll talk about in a second. But convenience to amenities, convenience to the outdoors is huge, and it's a big plus for living here in Chattanooga. Now, moving on from retirees, it's also a fantastic place for families. Like I mentioned, my wife and I just had our first kid, and we are planting our flag here. And this is where we're gonna raise our family. A lot of the communities in Chattanooga almost remind me of the past. It's very eclectic. This is a place where kids still ride their bikes. They still play outside. In many communities around town, you will see several families going on walks, walking their dogs, or just going for a run and hanging out with their family and the other neighbors around. It almost reminds you of the past, and it's so unfortunate that a lot of other places aren't like that. All in all, I think Chattanooga just has a slower, healthier pace of life, which is great for families, especially families with children. There are great schools here, especially the magnet and private school sector in Chattanooga. There's some of the top rated in the state and even in the nation. And we also have a great homeschooling community here if that's what you're into. We have everything from access to sports, the outdoors, obviously, different co-ops, and even climbing gyms and things like that. Chattanooga is cool as well because if you're in a suburb or even if you are downtown, you drive 15 minutes and you are out either in the forest or in farmland. I was out at a showing with one of my clients the other day, and I literally had to stop the car on the side of the road because I saw a zebra at one of the farms. Look at this clip right here. It shocked me. I was like, oh my goodness, where did they get a zebra from? I don't even know how you get a zebra to Tennessee. I don't know how that works, but I kind of want one day now. But you'll see stuff like that all the time where you stop on the side of the road and pet a horse or pet a donkey. You'll see a bunch of cows. There's a llama farm out in Ottawa, which is super cool, just driving along the road and seeing a bunch of llamas. There's a ton of farms and kids love it. Kids love animals. You'll see people who are into the homesteading lifestyle. They love growing food. They have chickens, they've got goats, things like that. And kids absolutely love it. We'll touch a little bit more on the community feel in a little bit, but there's also different farmers markets like the Chattanooga Market. That's definitely the biggest one here in town. But on the weekends, they host the Chattanooga Market downtown where you have a bunch of different local vendors, whether they're selling soaps, fresh produce, fish, little gadgets here and there. And it's huge and it's super vibrant and it is absolutely packed every time they open it up. So point number 5 is people are genuinely friendly here. The term Southern charm actually exists. It's not fake, it's real. It's so funny how often I hear from my clients and people who decide to visit how often they see people smile and wave back at them, or how helpful they are when they ask a question or asking about different areas to visit. Everyone is, for the most part, because there are people out there, like in the comment section and these videos, everyone seems to be super friendly. If you're going on a walk or going on a drive, just wave. People are gonna wave back, and a lot of times they're willing to help with whatever situation that you're needing help with. Or if you're wanting to ask questions, just random people on the street, people are willing to help. It's a really, really cool vibe here. And you know what? It's not really just hospitable living, it's relational living. Now what that means is you'll see a lot of people who, they might invite you to different potlucks. They'll invite you to church. They'll invite you to a church hangout or a porch hangout or a bonfire. It feels like people just aren't in a rush all the time, and they're willing to sit back and just enjoy the current moment. Most of the time they're present, and it really does make a huge difference on the overall quality of life with different friendships and relationships that you have in town. Guys, if you've not figured it out already, I am a licensed realtor here in Chattanooga. And so guys, if you are looking to move to the area, feel free to contact me in any of the ways down below. As much as I love making these videos, I love helping you guys with your real estate needs even more. Okay, number 6 on why people are flocking to Chattanooga is cost of living. We talk about cost of living a lot and how affordable it is to live here, especially compared to other major cities and even other major cities within the state. Compared to Nashville, Knoxville, it's still more affordable to live here in Chattanooga. And it's especially more affordable to live here compared to places like Dallas, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, LA, obviously, or San Diego, Chicago, New York, all of those other major cities. I mean, it's just way more affordable to live here. And I have to touch on this because, you know, we talk about the average home price here being around like the 350 mark. Realistically, number one, it really just depends on the immediate area that you're looking at. Expect to pay over 400 in most cases, okay? So I'll tell you this, the real estate prices are definitely going up. They're continuing to go up. They've gone up at least 3% year over year. So you'll start to notice, especially in places like Florida, the home prices here are catching up to those Florida home prices, although the Florida market is a separate topic, is dropping significantly right now. But home prices are catching up to some of those other major cities. However, it's the overall cost of living that we're talking about as well. Talk about home prices, yeah, they may be catching up, but those property taxes are still going to be significantly lower, especially compared to places like Texas. Same thing with insurance, right? Natural disasters have absolutely cursed Texas. They've cursed Florida, and it sucks. It's terrible. And I feel so bad for a lot of you guys who still live in those places who are paying an exorbitant amount, not only property taxes, but homeowners and auto insurance as well. Tennessee is still very affordable in that regard, and it really does affect your monthly mortgage. Now, let me show you some numbers. In Chattanooga, it is 51% less expensive, meaning 51% more affordable than a place like Los Angeles. Compared to Orlando, it's 19% more affordable. Compared to Chicago, it's 31% more affordable to live here in Chattanooga. And compared to Dallas, it's 20% more affordable. And again, we're talking about home prices, but we're also talking about overall cost of living. The other things you also have to consider when looking at your budget. Again, average home price is going to be around the 350 mark. It really just depends on the immediate area. Big thing is low property taxes and no state income tax, which is absolutely huge. We do have a sales tax. Tennessee is at 7%. Tennessee with the county taxes here in Chattanooga, it sits at 9.25%. Little local secret here. Chattanooga is right on the border of Georgia, and Georgia has a little bit lower sales tax. And so what you do is if you're living in Chattanooga, you're not too far from Costco, which is down in Georgia, you can avoid those higher sales tax situations. Either way, it's really not terrible. It's really those big ticket items where we have to worry about. That no state income tax is absolutely massive. Point number 7 of why it's super attractive to move here to Chattanooga is the proximity to things. You are close to everything without being in the middle of it. And I'm not talking about just local stuff. I'm talking about expanding out a few miles, okay? So Chattanooga is strategically located within just a couple hours of some more major cities. You're within 2 hours of Atlanta. You're 2.5 hours east of Nashville. You're an hour and a half southwest of Knoxville. We're also close to Birmingham and Huntsville. And so if for whatever reason you're not finding what you need in Chattanooga, you have access to Nashville, you have access to Atlanta. In fact, a lot of times what some of my clients do and what I do sometimes is if I can't find a direct flight out of Chattanooga, then just drive down to Atlanta and you've got that big international airport. That helps out a ton, especially if you're flying to somewhere a little bit more specific within the US, or if you have an international flight. Atlanta is a super convenient airport to go to. The Chattanooga airport is expanding, and it's actually one of my favorite airports because of how small it is. You literally go in and out, but I understand if you're traveling somewhere a little bit farther away, Atlanta, you got the international airport there, or you can go to the Nashville International Airport as well. When it comes to shopping, you know, sometimes I say that Chattanooga lacks in the big shopping departments, right? What do I mean by that? Chattanooga has absolutely everything that you need. It's a mid-sized city, okay? However, we don't have something like an IKEA. If you want to go to IKEA, drive down to Atlanta, make a day trip out of it, and go to a place like IKEA. A bigger metro city like Atlanta is just going to have way more options. Same thing with Nashville. Chattanooga is going to feel a little bit more like a smaller city because it is, so it's not going to have as much shopping. And that's sometimes an attractive part of being here is you avoid that hustle and bustle of Atlanta, the constant stop and go, the constant go with the shopping in a place like Nashville and Atlanta. Chattanooga absolutely has everything that you need, but for whatever reason, you cannot find what you need here, go down to Atlanta, go to Nashville, go to Knoxville. Point number 8 is that Chattanooga is a great place for people who work remotely or for people who are working in tech and looking for an entrepreneurial scene or just looking for a growing city to plant your roots in. So Chattanooga is one of the first cities in the US to offer citywide gigabit network. That's why it's called the gig city. It's because we have super fast internet. It's why it's attractive for a lot of people who are working remotely and want that lower cost of living and be in such a scenic city. We also have very strong growth in a few different areas. We have a huge healthcare industry here. We got several different major hospital systems, including Erlanger, CHI Memorial. We've got Park Ridge as well. Again, like I said, tech and startups tend to plant their roots here as well and get their start here. Logistics is also a huge industry here in Chattanooga. We have a FedEx and Amazon fulfillment center. The US Express headquarters is also located here in the city. Insurance is also a big industry here. You know, we have the Blue Cross Blue Shield Tennessee headquarters located here. We also have, you know, things like the Volkswagen plant. It's located just east of downtown Chattanooga. We have McKee Foods, which if you've ever had a Little Debbie product, like those atomic brownies or oatmeal cream pies, which are absolutely incredibly addicting and so good, those are manufactured and created here in Chattanooga. We're getting close, but you're gonna wanna stick around for number 10. Number 9 is the food, culture, and art scene. If you're a foodie, if you love food like myself and trying out different restaurants and different cultures of food, Chattanooga is such a great spot and there are so many different options. In fact, I think the food scene is one of the most underrated parts of living in Chattanooga. Not a lot of people talk about it, but it's actually amazing. Me and my friends, we actually created a big spreadsheet of the top places to eat in Chattanooga. Some of my favorite spots include Main Street Meats, Easy Bistro, State of Confusion, Little Coyote, which has some of the best brisket in town. It's amazing. We also have breweries like Odd Story. We have the Chattanooga Brewing Company. We also have a few really cool bars, different restaurants, and live music around town as well. It's very vibrant. You know, the nightlife is growing a ton, and if you're not a huge nightlife person, then Chattanooga is going to probably have enough. If you're going out every single night, Chattanooga is probably not for you. Go down to Atlanta or go over to Nashville. Those will probably suit you a little bit better. We do have plenty of options, but it's not going to suit the person who goes out every single night. We also have different art galleries like the Hunter Museum of Art, different pop-up shops and pop-up galleries. We have the sculpture fields, and we have those Chattanooga markets as well, those local farmers markets, which you'll see a lot of local food, local produce, but you'll also see those little gadgets and you'll see local art and photography around town as well. You know, it's not Nashville, but it's actually way more than what you'd expect from a mid-sized city. And point number 10 is you can live exactly how you want over here. There's not one particular lifestyle that you need to be a part of in order to fit in here in Chattanooga. If you want city life, if you want walkability, go to Southside, move over to Southside, or go to North Shore, or go to St. Elmo, go to Cambridge Square. If you're more urban, stay within Southside or North Shore. Everything you need will be right there. If you want to be a little bit more spread out, if you want some acreage, okay, drive 15 to 20 minutes up to Hickson, over to Signal Mountain, go east to Ottawa or Appleton, McDonald, Cleveland even, which is gonna be about 30 to 45 minutes from downtown. But everything you need will be right there. If you want acreage, you want sprawling, hilly acreage, you wanna raise your family on a farm, you want animals, you want chickens, goats, horses, that type of thing, that's all available right here. And you don't have to sacrifice convenience to the city or other amenities like a grocery store or medical facilities. If you want mountain views, go and check out Black Creek, which is an amazing master plan community here in Chattanooga. You've got hiking trails throughout the entire community. You have awesome amenities like a state-of-the-art golf course. You've got a restaurant, pool, pickleball and tennis courts. And in their new development further up the mountain called The Pass, they're building an entirely new amenity center up there as well. You also have a community called Jasper Highlands, which is on top of the Cumberland Plateau, and you have absolutely stunning views up there, included with your resort style amenities and massive lots. If you want something a little bit more suburban, check out any of the suburbs within Chattanooga. Check out Soddy Daisy, Hickson, Signal Mountain, Lookout Mountain, Ottawa, East Brainerd, Appleton, right? Harrison, where I'm at right now. There are so many different options that suits whatever lifestyle that you would like to live. You're not boxed into one type of lifestyle here. And no matter where you choose, you're still close to nature and community. Again, guys, I am a licensed realtor here in Chattanooga. So if you are looking to move to the area, feel free to contact me in any of the ways down below. And I would be absolutely happy to help you guys out. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.